Jim and Humphrey disagreed again on the reform incident. So Jim decided to ask his secretary Bernard about Jim's recent movements. It is worth mentioning that Bernard, as Jim's secretary, is actually in an awkward position. He has two superiors. One is Jim, the executive minister, and the other is Humphrey, the permanent secretary. In a civil service system, on the one hand, he needs to be loyal to the minister and gain a good reputation. On the other hand, he has no choice in the system. Humphrey grasped this point and prepared to persuade him.
The average minister's tenure is less than 11 months, Bernard. But your career in the civil service will last until you're 65, won't it?
I hope so, yes.
So do I, Bernard.
The minister's term of office is usually only 11 months, but Bernard needs to work until he is 60 years old. This rhetoric successfully made Bernard decide to reveal the minister's recent movements. At the same time, Bernard also used a way to report without leaving any handle.
Well, suppose a minister, purely hypothetical minister, were to be unhappy with a departmental draft of evidence to a committee. And suppose that minister were planning to replace it with his own draft, worked out with his political advisor and people from his party.
I can't believe it.
Oh, no, of course, but it's purely hypothetical.
The expansion of the executive branch is the result of congressional legislation. In short, the bloated executive branch itself is legal. However, Hack's attitude now is that he does not want the truth, but to give Congress an explanation. This exposed the crisis that Jim did not realize he was in. That is, he was the pioneer of reform and slapped the face of Congress. In such a situation, Jim could easily become a victim of political struggle. In addition, Humphrey also warned Jim not to submit the report to an organization that would publish it publicly. The meaning is that the right to interpretation is often more important than the content itself. Once Jim submitted the report to them, he would be at the mercy of others. This is what Humphrey said was the stupidest way. However, all of this was ignored by Jim, who insisted on his own way.